So in this video, we're going to learn how to get our rotary file running. All right, so we've installed the block and it's at this angle here pointing right up. What I'm going to do is we're going to adjust it where it's actually flat, and there's going to be a reason why we're going to do that. So over on the software, what you're going to do is we're going to first install and open the rotary file. Okay, so you'll do the same thing as you did before. You'll go down to the little thing that looks like a paper. You will find the Persian file that we did before, or any rotary file that you've done. You'll select it and it will open it up on the controller. Okay, then we'll have to do one more thing before we get going. Is under the set origin, okay, is your offsets might be set to 0, 0. If they are, you're going to need to change the X offset to 50. The reason why is because our rotary is input right here is basically 50 millimeters in from the side, right? And so this little dent that you see on top of your rotary is going to be where the probe is going to zero itself. So we need to have an offset from where it usually considers to be 0, 0, and that gets it to be home base, basically. And you'll click OK to offset it. All right, so make sure you do those two things. And then what we're going to do is the A is how you get the rotary to spin. I changed that from 90 to 10 because what I want to do is I want to have my block here to be fairly flat. And I'm going to put it down to 1, and I'm going to have it to where I can have my block to be quite flat. Okay, because here's why. I'm going to install my probe. Okay, is what I want to just double check anytime I do this is I want to make sure that I really have made my piece where it's not going to hit the jaws and it's not going to go over here. Okay, and so that again is the margin. So if I click on margin, okay, and if I do margin and make sure the scan margin is checked, the machine is going to go over and it's going to scan, and the little red dot should stay on your wood block. Perfect. Okay, I'm now going to send this home. All right, so I'm sending my whole laser home. All right, now I'm going to do a Z probe. Okay, and the Z probe is going to take it and move it all the way over. Oops. And it's going to hit that little dimple on my rotary. And it's going to bring it back. Perfect. Awesome. All right. Now I should be ready to install my new bit. Okay, so remember where we went with kind of this type of bit, an in-mill bit. This is going to be the bit that we're going to use to turn this into a cylinder, to round out the edges to get us to the little tiny ends, and also to do the roughing. So I'm going to take out my probe. I'm going to mount it back, and I'm going to install this bit. Okay. Now what we're going to do in my software, I am going to go down here to the bottom. I am now going to run my code, which is my Persian file. I'm going to turn off Auto Z Probe, and I am going to run. Okay. The reason why we're going to turn off the Auto Z Probe is because if you leave it on, what's going to happen is the rotary will end up in the wrong spot. There seems to be a little glitch in the software or something or other. So make sure on that next step you just turn it off. And now it's blinking to make sure, hey, did you really turn it off? And notice I took out the probe. Otherwise, if you don't take off the probe at this step, it's going to actually run into your block, and we don't want that to happen. It'll bend the little piece of metal on the probe. We can fix that, but you don't want to keep doing that because you eventually will damage your probe. And it says, do you want to go into the tool and change it to tool 3? And you go, yes, I do. You'll confirm that. And notice it's blinking up here, right? Letting you know that something needs to happen on the machine. And it beeped, right? Because this machine beeps a lot. Okay. And once I hit confirm, now it's going to go over and it's going to hit the button in the back, and that's where it's going to level it so it knows where to hit our rotary. Right? Now the machine is going to come back over. It's going to turn on the spindle. Right? It's going to spin my block, and it's going to turn it on, and then it's going to get to work. Okay, and I'm going to stop it because I don't want to ruin my block. But it'll run the code that you sent, and we'll have a Persian showing up. So it will end up eventually looking something like this. Right? This is a short-haired cat. Right? So you've got the little edges. I made this one too thick, but this is exactly what it will look like at the end of the day. And if you hit the emergency stop button, just remember you have to twist it back, confirm, and once it's unlocked, I'm going to send this guy home. And he's good, so he'll turn green again.